Yo, what is up, my selective socialites? This is Zero. Welcome into the stream. Normally I do a story time, but I thought I'd switch it up a little bit. I may do a story time tomorrow. Yeah, I'm be going going through it this week. But I'm gonna try to get another video out. I just didn't feel like getting one out, and I didn't have time to do anything, so. Why you didn't see anything today, but tomorrow definitely we'll have some content for you. So yeah, we get into the topic of what is truth, and actually, kind of thinking about it, I was thinking about a few things, and it kind of came up in a conversation with my 100 subscriber live, where somebody asked about about talking about falsehoods and whatnot, and I was like saying, well, we don't necessarily know what's falsehood and what's true. And yeah, the saying might be true that the truth will eventually get out, but will it get out while you living? I mean, there's some truth out there that that still ain't gotten out, but people are dead and gone. Like maybe some that the truth about a person that people thought one way about somebody and find out. Oh, what's up? Oh, what's up, Elnis? How you doing, brother? Yeah, what's up, man? Yeah, welcome to the live, bro. Yeah, yeah. I see you every now and then, but yeah, it's good to see you, bro. Yeah, and I was just talking about something I had talked about with somebody on the live this past Saturday when they have 100 sub thing. It was like at 100. I think I did it no Sunday. That's what I did. It was I did it, and then somebody took. It was at 100. Then somebody took one back, and then I guess by the end of live, I got 101. But everything's going good, bro. Everything's going good. Just trying to maintain. That's all I can do. But yeah, I mean, I would see folks, and I would see folks that would like think they know the truth, whatever. Like, and really don't know much. Really in illusion themselves. I mean, I think all of us are in illusion to some extent. Maybe some of us just got out of more hoops than others, but and some are in more hoops than others. It's kind of ridiculous. It's like you hear people like, oh yeah, we know the truth, but then when the truth is not entertaining to some people, it's they would rather take the entertaining lie. I don't. I mean, well, I mean, I guess like I said, people want to be entertained for the most part, and I get it. Everybody likes entertainment. I mean, I don't think I know everybody who doesn't, but I mean, but some people know there's a time and place for entertainment, and some people just want to entertainment all the time. Oh yeah, I feel you on that, bro. Matter of fact, I don't. It's like me. If it's somewhere I don't really like to be, I'm not even in the clouds. I'm just not there. I think in the past I've done that. It'd be like somebody I'm really cool with, but then they be talking about something. I'm like, oh, I don't want to be a part of this. I'll just look for maybe a few minutes, see what's going on. Then I just slowly do the Homer, back into the bushes type of deal. For real, for real. I really don't care. I mean, I think a lot of people like drama, whatever. I really couldn't care too much. I don't even really deal with it in my personal life. So it's like, probably the only time drama would come for me is usually at work, and at times it's usually harder to avoid it because you have to work around people you don't like, and if someone's causing you trouble, most likely you're gonna be stuck with that person, and it's ridiculous, and we can go on, we can take news on news. News is very good at entertaining people, with information, and it's very good at showing certain type of information. Whether it's to entertain people, to get a rise out of somebody, they you know they as long as you get a rise out of somebody, they don't care, and I see the pattern. Yeah, true. I guess technically you can, but you can't just log out right away. You gotta wait till the shift ends, and that's kind of like the log out. Unless you got the unfortunate circumstance that the person you working with that knows you is also your roommate, then yeah, you will never escape that person. You almost will never escape that person. But yeah, yeah. So yeah, like it was like for one example, I remember. Matter of fact, I remember and I'm not really into sports, but I remember seeing this like when like Richard Sherman was on the Seahawks when they were going to the Super Bowl. I remember I remember like they finished beating somebody, and and the media tried to make it sound like he was like all arrogant and whatnot to the player. Like they still had a beef, whatever. And they kept this going for I don't know if it kept for a week or close to it, or maybe it might be a little longer. I don't remember the exact time period, but but they kept this up. They kept this going for a good minute, and then they finally showed the footage of them, shaking hands, being cool with one another. And I'm just like, oh, you just want to keep everybody, arguing about it. You wanted to try to paint a negative perspective on it just to get the ratings going. And another incident I remember is like when that whole Ray Rice situation. Everybody was like, "Oh, he just like beating no women and blah blah blah." They can show him not knock it out, and like for most people, people could, it's easy to see it that way. But like probably people who like maybe kind of more analytical or something like that, they could probably see like, yeah, that might be self defense. So I don't know, I think they might have kept that up for months. Having them make like the bag because like the fiance at the time, she apologized because she knew she was wrong. But everybody else tried to make it sound like he was just a woman beater. And I'm like, it's clearly like it was self defense because he didn't just go and attack. I can see if he was just like he just punching on and she just standing there or something. And she didn't really, do nothing. That's one thing, but you're charging at him like, and I'm not for anybody putting their hands on each other. I'm very very much for like everybody keep their hands to themselves. Keep your hands to yourself, ain't no problems. But when the footage finally, full footage finally came out, they showed Ray Rice walking away, trying to walk away, trying not to do nothing, and his fiance at the time running up, walking up behind him, hitting him in the head. He's walking away. He's trying not to. he's trying not to fight her. He doesn't want to fight her. He just wants to get away from the situation. And when he got the elevator, that's when things got worse. Kept hitting him. It took a little bit, and then she charged at him. He hit her once, to try to stop her. That didn't take. So he did again. Then she that was the then the second time was the one that everybody seen her get knocked out. Now some people say, well, she's weakening her. She's weakening him, whatever. I mean, ain't that more reason not to do it? But they gonna say because woman. I mean, I like I said, I'm more balanced when it comes to things like that. But that is some BS. And the reason why I say it is because if it was a man who was weaker than another man, he would never be allowed to get away with that. Like when you say that to a man who's weaker than another man, it's okay a man who's weaker to hit another stronger man and he shouldn't do nothing. Like that don't make sense. Or if a woman's stronger than a man, would she have a right to do that? See that I mean, but that's something to think about. Like, would it be okay with him if she's stronger? Or it's still not okay because she's stronger. She just do what she want anyway. That's kind of questions I'm like I be want to ask, but and then when you have like these so-called people, woke, oh yeah, he woke, and usually people who talk about they woke, they say, oh, they know about slavery or they learned some new age BS, some. And I'm like, oh, no, be woke, mean you know about slavery. I'm like, you ain't gotta be woke to do that. It's in the history book. Like matter of fact, history book, first thing in the history book, they make sure you know about black people that you were a slave. They make you sure you know right off the bat. They don't. It don't start off like, yeah, you rule the kingdoms. Like, yeah, we tell y'all that later. Right now, you were a slave, you changed the whips and all that. And I mean, even that, even like even really knowing the real history of America, like yeah, that slavery story starting to sound a little less unlikely because they said they brought all these slaves from Africa, which would have been impossible to carry that have that many people on a boat from Africa to America because the technology at the time it's not like they run no have no no power boats, no boats run on motors. They got sail, it's wind. Yeah, sail is wind. They rely on wind, and then like on top of that, the trip would take like 6 months to a year. And then you got to think about it. They didn't have refrigerators, and even then they wouldn't even be able to get enough food for all those slaves, and even and for the crew. Even if they were giving them the bare minimum, they only have enough for that. But they say they brought all those slaves over because they did that. They would lose if they would actually do that. They would lose most of the crew and probably almost all the slaves because you wouldn't have enough. Hey, little Blake, how you doing? Appreciate you coming through. Been a minute since I seen you. Yeah, I'm be around more. Yeah, so if I come on, it probably usually sometime between 6 to 8 p.m. Central Time. I usually I'll usually schedule it, but yeah, like when it comes to that, and just like I mean, it's just like no one. I mean, people like to be lied to. I mean, if people say they want truth, but I don't. When I be saying like all the stuff he be following, I'm like, yeah, y'all don't want to know the truth. Oh, it's in the description box. Love Blake. I've got to put that on too. Or you can look at the ticker, but should be in the description box. But yeah, appreciate you coming through though. Yeah, I always have the links in the description box, and I'm going to make sure to put all the stuff in the about section too. Yeah, I won't be on long myself, but I just kind of want to talk about it, talk about something like this, and even with like the whole truth thing, like I think like just recently, Hulu put out a video series about Mike Tyson, and it turns out that Hulu neither asked Mike about his life or paid him. They pretty much just used the story and told it and didn't even pay him. And if I was Mike, yeah, lawsuits would be coming. And there's also interviews on that. I gotta I'll put the links in the comment section to find it after the stream because that's that. It's like the fact that they didn't even want to even try to talk to him or you try to pay him because I'm like if he you making a movie off of his life, he should be getting paid. But then again, I Hulu is a channel that makes you watch commercials even after you pay for it. I don't like any platform where I got a really stream platform where if I pay you money a month, I don't want to be seeing no commercials. That's why we're paying you. If if I gotta pay you for to still see commercials, just give me the free version because I'm still gonna see the commercials anyway. I mean, it just don't make that doesn't just doesn't make sense to me. But yeah, it's I mean, it's just so much stuff that's just crazy, and see how people follow politicians and have people following the craziest stuff and fight and argue to death about it because that's what their party told said that was what was happening. So it's just like, oh, okay. So because the party said it, that's your thoughts. I mean, it's kind of like Democrats telling people certain stuff like you know, we setting women up for failure for the with the feminism thing. Which I mean, you want to be a feminist, hey, it's up to you. It's just not gonna work the way you want it to. But if it makes you feel good, hey, I'm all for it. And it's kind of like something I heard Bill Burr say. It's like he said, he said, I'm not worried about feminism. He said, why? Because feminism needs men for it to work, which is true. I think I've said something similar to that too. But yeah, I mean, it really does. Because anytime it was like got time for like women to actually, really do something, they always come begging men to do it or try to shame men to doing it. And I always gotta find it funny, like there's men call themselves feminists, but when it comes down to it, women don't accept those men as feminists, but they'll let them support and whatnot. I mean, Terry Crews found out the hard way. He found out the hard way. Yeah, they don't have your back. Now I don't know if he still support them or not, but if I was him, I'd took that as a wake up call. You feel me? But he's his own man. So yeah, so It's just, I mean, just I mean, just like any type of thing. And I mean, people like, oh, human social creatures. Yeah, yeah, most of them are designed to follow. I mean, I can't really argue with that. Most of them decide to follow. Like when they have a chance to, to think for themselves, they always try to go and find whoever is the most charismatic or, the one with the most power to one most charismatic and one with the most power to try to try to have them lead them. Because like, for them to have somebody leading them, it saves them the trouble of having to think for themselves. That's why I have a yeah, yeah, I got it. Appreciate it. Thank you for the love. Love Blake. I got it. Yeah, so it's like when people have a chance to think themselves, yeah, they let somebody else handle it. Like that's why people, that's why we have governments. Which, ironically, the the original meaning of government is mind control or control the mind, which I think like govern means control and mint, mind, mint short for mental, governmental. So controlling the mind, or mind control, like literally. Yeah, so it's very interesting that they have a system for controlling the mind. As I was saying, governments are controlling the mind. Yes, that's what they're supposed to do. That's why it's a government. I mean, you can look this up yourself. That's literally what the name means. Controlling the mind. Government. I mean, you should be able to do an easy Google search. You should just tell you that, like the etymology of it. That's what the origin of words are. The etymology. But yeah, people do what the government tells them to do, and most people do. I mean, follow. Just follow 'em. Like without fail. Even when they like, they argue, about presidents or senators or whatever. Most people argue about the president because president's seen as the most powerful when he's not. But that's what people are told that this is the most powerful person around, and you need to take all questions and answers to him, even though he ain't really deal with it. Like, what about these laws here? Blah blah blah. President got nothing to do with that. You got to talk to your senators and congressmen. They don't want to have that. He just, signs in the law. That's all he doing. If he, I mean, if he's not signing the law, then I mean, he could veto it, and if it will be successful, if there's not 2/3 of the Congress voting against him. Now, if they don't do that, he's good. And if they happen to do it, well, that's just it. But it's just kind of like the president. I mean, the president's always a puppet. It's like think I had one guy arguing me about him not being a puppet, and I'm like, yeah, the president's totally a puppet. I mean, it's like the so-called power. Well, I call the powers they used to be. They always, they always pick who they want to be in there. It's always somebody from the family, which like most of Congress, and this ain't nothing secret, are related to the British royal family. You can look up a lot of politicians and find out like they're like some cousins related to each other. It's just like George Bush and Barack Obama. They're like 11 cousins. I remember one time I said 10th, but I guess they made a mistake and said 11th. I'm not sure. But I do know they're cousins. And some people will say that doesn't count. But I'm like, if you know royalty, that always counts. It doesn't matter. I mean, you ever seen like those TV shows or movies, they've been saying like Louis the Eighth or Louis the 14th or just some random number, or Henry the 18th or something like that. Just some just some number because that's how far it goes down. But then royalty, they did a lot of inbreeding too. So yeah, like someone got hemophilia, you're probably royalty because that's kind of I don't call it disease or syndrome. I don't know what that would be classified as hemophilia, but it's something that's generally common in royalty. So if you have that, you might be royalty. Yeah. So yeah, yeah. So when I see these folks, trying to pretend like they know everything, and like, oh, I'm so awake, I'm woke, I'm so woke, and it's like just being happy about being waking, being awakened to the truth, and I'm like, well, waking, I mean, waking up's supposed to be the first step. You're supposed to. That ain't nothing to be celebrating. You're supposed to be ready to go out and do your own thing if you're gonna wake up. It don't make no sense to be like, oh, waking up, I'm woke, but I ain't doing that. It's kind of like it's literally like you're waking up and going back to sleep. That's literally what you're doing. And I wish, more people would just really just, I would say thank for themselves, but I mean, people are thanking themselves. So I'm not gonna say they're not thanking for themselves. I know some people will say that, but people are thanking for themselves. They just choose to have somebody thank for them. So I wish people would, not be scared to be individuals. Like put it like that. Most people would be scared to be individuals, but I thought I would have. Well, I mean, I regret said a lot on this topic already. Or kind of said some of the topic and then kind of back and forth. But oh yeah, as far as cousins, like a lot of people don't know this. And I mean, and it's in the paper. You can find this out easily that Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump are 19 cousins. It is true. And they put this out before, either one of them ran for president. So yeah, that's something to think about. But oh yeah, and speaking of Trump, I know like a lot of people blamed him for the Capitol riots and whatnot. And when I was looking up, I was trying to find, anything that would, for sure connect him to, that. And it really wasn't even actual connections. As a matter of fact, before his tweets got taken down, he actually told the told the rioters to go home. I mean, even though it was late as hell, they already did most of the riot and everything, but he didn't say it. And he told them to go home. He told them to go in peace. He typed it, he tweeted it, and then he made a video on it telling them to do so. And that was what he got. That's what his channel got taken. Yeah, that's what he got banned for. I mean, they told me he was doing hate speech, but I'm like, luckily I had somebody who had screenshotted that before he got taken down, and and yeah, that's when he got banned for hate speech. And I was like, cause I was like, I wanted to, I was like, said, dang, I wish I could have seen what was on there. One of my homies, he had me. He was like, yeah, I got you. He said, I'll show you what happened. Show you the screenshot. I looked at him. You sent the video with it. I was like, okay, I see what's happening. And then I'm like, look for anything else to see what else, what else is happening that, could link him to say, hey, he somehow started this. But I'm saying, well, I mean, I still be saying that, oh, well, he was a sore loser, whatever. Yeah, he said that, but say protesting, like, telling people are protesting not against the law. Now, people, start doing their own thing and start, going whatever. Now, it could be something different. Hey, Natty, how you doing? Now, it could be, something, more, but there was not enough proof to actually confirm that. And and when this whole thing was going on, like I was genuinely asked people because people were so sure that he did it. I'm like, well, what exactly did he say? He was like he said this and that, and they couldn't tell me like they couldn't exactly tell me. They told me like something that you know they thought sounded like he said something, and I'm just like, well, where is where is proof? It's like I want actual proof. It's like, hey, if he did it, let me know. I'm not, I wasn't trying to be against him. I was like, I just want to know there's proof. Where's the proof? That's all I want. I was only seeking the truth. And when they couldn't, tell me anything like definite, I'm like, well, what I'm saying? Because he told protesters to go up to the Capitol. I'm like, well, that's not a crime. As a matter of fact, there's video of Democrats actually telling folks to riot, and none of them were put on trial. Now anybody knows me, I'm nonpartisan. I have worked in the Democratic Party office, and I should probably do a story time on that. I don't think it's gonna be too long, but yeah, like I say, they don't Democratic Party don't respect black people as much as black people think they do. But since I live in a city where there's a lot of black people, they can't be overt about it, so they can't just come out and say, yeah, you nigger. Like they can't say that fucking nigger. Fuck out of here, nigger. They can't say those shit like that. They get their ass whooped. But yeah, I might tell the story. But yeah, I was just thinking about like how folks just believe stuff so easily, and I'm just like, well, and how they were talking about they take him to jail and all that, and she was so sure that like Dirty Cabaret thing that they were gonna take him to jail, and I told them, I said there ain't no proof. I was telling folks like there ain't no proof. They can't convict him. They didn't believe me. Like I told him first time when they tried to charge him, I told him he's gonna get off. And I told people that, I told him like right when it started, when I first heard about it, I was telling my coworker was so sure, like, yeah, he going to jail. All the people they get all these people, they gonna tell what happened. He going to jail. Like I'm so sure about it. And I'm like, I said he's not gonna go to jail. Like I mean, I had to see the evidence. I knew you were going to go to jail. It's like I said, this is all just a big distraction to keep everybody busy. And once it's all said and done, he gonna get off. And what happened? He got acquitted. He didn't. He was found innocent on all charges. They couldn't hold him. And then when they did the whole Capitol riot thing, got off again because they had no evidence. They had no real conclusive evidence to charge him with. And as much as some people don't want to hear that, that's the truth. I know it's like easy to lie, to take the lie and say, yeah, he did it, but he didn't do it. Now, it's like, people go off and do their own thing and to act like they're doing it for him. Like that's just your problem. Now, unless you can, somehow prove that he gave the order, like for, like it's clear, it's a clear, signal that like he gave like a very clear signal or he literally told them, hey, you go and do that. Otherwise, there's no point. There's no point in trying to convict him. But yeah, I mean, like I said, people will take will set the lie, convenient lie over a truth, over a hard truth any day. Now, I mean, there's people that out there that actually seek truth, but it's not a lie. There's people that think they want truth, and they really don't. But yeah, I think I've been on here long enough. I've been on here about 34 minutes and probably about 35 now. And I kind of want people to watch it. So I don't like to have long lives. I used to do that, but I don't want to keep long lives. So give them a shout outs and then I'm gonna go. Shout out to L Nixon, shout out to the homie, shout out to Love Blake, and shout out to Nadia. So yeah, thank y'all for coming through, showing love, holding us about vibrations, people, and I'll see you guys later. Y'all have yourselves a great night.